rundown of what's been happening on this cruise is we have Group A and Group B. Tonight we play for Group B the show that you guys are going to see when you guys do on the third night, which is going to be it's going to be better because you guys are awesome. But when we're in here, we do this. We're gonna play like a lot of B-sides. We're gonna play some stuff we've never played before, some stuff that it's just that. And then tomorrow night is for the whole boat, and we're gonna play our set that we've been playing all year that we love and we're excited about with all the singers and everything. So it's a little bit for everyone. This is neither of those things. This is us talking and playing a little bit. We're gonna answer some questions from everybody. It's about the songwriting process. It's about like how we get together, how we make records, how we write songs, how we do these things. We're going to start with one thing. I want you to hear. We're going to play you a lot of things, so we want you to hear this.
Do you guys hear that?
Do you guys hear that?
No.
No, they're not hearing that.
First chink in the armor, Ted.
Hold on. Does that work? Wait, sorry.
It only works if it goes out there.
It sounds great in my head.
That sounds amazing.
It's correct. Wait, press play. Can you guys make it so everyone else can hear that? Is that a possibility?
Let it play for a second. Let it play for a second.
This whole thing doesn't work unless they do that.
Dave.
Dave. Come on.
Dave. Everybody, give Dave a lot of shit. Dave. Dave.
Right now, the amount of pressure Dave's brain is about to make his head explode.
Dave is rethinking whether he wanted to work with us or not right now.
It's the green button, Dave.
Come on, Dave. The pressure's on.
Oh yeah, it's definitely the green button.
You guys did test this before we walked out, right? No?
Somebody's getting fired.
All right,
I'm really enjoying some Matchbox 20 in my head right now. I gotta tell
all right, we're gonna give this one more second, and then we'll divert and do something different.
We'll try something different.
Here's the thing. To expand on what he's saying while he's trying to figure this out. Making music's subjective, right?
Yes.
I mean, there's no right or wrong, and presumably you guys are here because you like the way we make music. So, in an effort to try to figure out what it is that you guys like about our music, we're here to talk about it. Maybe answer some questions. Maybe ramble on a little too long about shit that we like or don't like.
We're kind of thinking about this as this is our fan appreciation
with
cruise,
us
and we just
anyway,
appreciate the fact that you guys have been with us for the last 20 years. And they asked us, we were going to do different things on the boat. One of the things was like that we were going to come here and you guys are going to be here and we were going to do like Jeopardy. And I thought, that just seems stupid.
Yeah.
Like, you know, as much as you would like to see us make asses out of ourselves, we can do that while we talk about music. There's no reason that those two things have to be mutually exclusive. How you doing, man?
Who are you looking at? Oh, what's up,
man?
How you doing? Good to see you. Is that working? Okay, you know what? We're gonna try something a little different. We're gonna derail this. Our plan is not
improvise.
You know what?
Thank you very much.
Let's take. Here's what we're gonna do. Our friend Randall.
Where's Randall?
Is out here.
Randall, where are you?
This is Randall. Randall Slavin, who, by the way, you know the picture of us that we use for everything. Randall is a photographer. He's a great photographer. He's been working with us for years. He's one of our best friends. He's a sexy, sexy man, ladies, and he's single.
Which is why you really want to do this.
Yes. Randall, does that microphone work? No. Do we hear? Well, that microphone doesn't work either.
Yeah, everything's working out great.
Hey guys.
There we go. We're on.
There we go. So here's what we'll do. We'll get to this, but we'll start with anybody who has a question about songwriting, record making, your favorite song, what it's about, where it came from, how we made it, like those kind of things.
Here we go.
No hair questions.
Hey, I can hear you.
Like how we titled, how the name of the band came about.
Oh, it's my friend. They gave me my blanket.
What's your name?
Lillian.
Where are you from?
Texas.
What do you got?
I want to know what your favorite song is that you wrote.
Your favorite song?
In general, like mine.
Of Matchbox.
It's hard. I mean, you know,
All of you.
like right now, like I really like. I'm a big fan of Hand Me Down. And in all honesty, I like it because of Kyle. Like Kyle is one of my favorite guitar players I've ever heard in my entire life. Not just because he's in my band, but he has this sense of like he's so prolific and he plays so well, but he plays with melody because he's a songwriter. So he plays like Joe Walsh or like Dave Gilmour, those guys that really like played melodies when they played these solos. And when I listen to Hand Me Down, and when he goes into that last solo, that like it's like one of those like great Joe Walsh Eagle-Z kind of solos that just makes me feel like when we're playing that song, I'm like I want to be that band forever. Like I just want to be in that band.
Man, it's so it's tough to just like people ask that question a lot. Like you know it's kind of like trying to have a name your favorite child if you have more than one. You know, I mean, but I guess
But
I guess
you like Ava better. I mean, it's.
That's out there. I guess if I had to pick one, I've said this a lot, but I like what we did with Bent. I think it's kind of a representation of it, and maybe it's a good opportunity because we talked about this. Maybe it's a good opportunity to talk about how that thing evolved, because I think it's it's one thing to write a song, and then it's another thing to make an arrangement that's interesting. And to create like a connection with a recording.
That's a great idea.
We all do.
Rob.
Some of your favorite songs, just not only the song, but the recording you have a connection with.
Here's the funny thing, because there's two stories about this that make me laugh. One is the Ryan Adams story. Like we were hanging out, we were doing this, we were playing a show with Willie Nelson, and we were like Willie's backup band for his birthday, and we were high. But Ryan Adams is there, and Ryan Adams comes up to me, and he was really drunk, and he goes, "Listen, that song Bent. I fucking love that song." He's like, that solo. He goes, "It's just stupid, but it's perfect. It makes perfect sense. I love it." You know?
Is that coincidental that my daughter Ava, who you just mentioned, was born 2 days prior to that, which is why I was not at that show?
That's true. You weren't.
Is that weird?
Oh, that's right.
That is strange.
I actually
Hey, can I get this guitar on?
Do I subconsciously like Bent because of that reason?
I think it's kind of cool to see, like, Rob, if you'll play this for a minute. Like, this is what it sounds like when Rob brought us Bent. He's like,
Yeah.
okay,
And I want to tell this story because you and I almost got into a fight about it.
Which could be said pretty much about anything.
That white wine is totally going onto your laptop too, by the way. I'm just going to point that out right now, so that when it happens later.
So here's what happens. Like I for that song, like I would bring this song and I would have.
Can I get a little more?
Yeah, I can't really hear the guitar. Can you just check it?
Yeah.
Guys, come on.
If I fall along the way, pick me up and dust me off. If I get too tired to make it, be my breath so I can walk. And you're like, shouldn't be so complicated. Just help me and then hold me again. Can you help me? I'm bent. I'm so scared that I'll never get put back together. Keep breaking me in, and this is how we will end. With you and me, bent. So I'm bringing this song, and it was, at the time, like I thought it was like that. Like I thought it was.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, like we get a CD. Like at that point, we got a CD of a bunch of different ideas that Rob had, and that was on it. And like, you hear that song, and you're like, well, okay, our job is to basically try to do something with that and not fuck that up, because it's obviously. It's such a great melody, and you're like, well, okay, well, whatever we do, we can't mess with how great that melody is.
But then Paul gets behind the kit, because Paul used to be our drummer. For those of you that have been following along for the whole time, Paul was our drummer for the first 12 years. So he gets behind the kit, we're in the studio, and he says, and my first thing is like, dude, you're fucking up my song. I don't know where to sing. And he's like, dude, can we just try? I'm like, no.
Paul actually stormed out of the studio and quit the band.
Yeah, we did. We almost went to blows. Like we had this moment. Like I remember. Like I think I stepped on the stage. I was like, be a man. Yeah. We had It was a horrible moment. And Paul ran out, and then Matt Soletic, our producer, kind of got us all back together and brought us all back in the room, and he's like, listen, just try it, and we did it. And then after the first real run through, I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, that was awesome. That's really awesome, you know. And it changes because it's the idea of like, we do things a lot of different ways. Kyle might write a song, Kyle and Paul might write a song, I might write a song, we all might write it together. But the idea is that like,
no, that's how this.
once that song comes in, you bring it into this group. And this group's interpretation of that song is what makes it a Matchbox 20 song. And so you kind of learn that like, sometimes the way that you hear it is actually limited versus when you get with what you think are great musicians and what they can do and how they can make it great. And that was like, Bent was one of those things. And so now when I hear that, I'm like, yeah, fuck you.
But it can be, frustrating too, though, you know? It's like, it's like you got in this case, 4 chefs in the kitchen.
Well, actually,
it would have to be
at
more
that
than
point
one
we had
to be a band.
We had
but
5
in this
chefs
case,
in that kitchen.
We had 5.
We had Adam band.
5
at that time.
Remember Adam?
And quite frankly, we had 6 because Matt Soletic, like his influence on us can't be can't be dismissed. I mean, Matt is a big voice, and like Matt is the guy that we go, is this good? And Matt goes, no. And we go, okay, we're terrible. Everything we do is suck. It just totally sucks. And and Matt has definitely been that person for us for a long period of time. So I mean, Matt's a big voice in that because when he's definitely the person that goes, that's not good. You need to go in a different direction. And sometimes you don't know where the fuck you're going, and you're just like, he's just like, but right. He pushes you.
And eventually the resistance has to like fade away, and like several chefs have to leave the kitchen, and like, because eventually the meal has to be done, right? And then, but the problem is not everybody likes what they eat when it's all done, you know? And that's just part of being in a band, you know? You end up with things that sometimes you really love, and you, because of the colors that everybody brings to that initial, the genesis of that idea, there is a certain amount of acceptance like giving it to. Sorry.
I want to add something to what you're saying. It's like, and Bent is a great example of this, because Bent is like, if you think about things like songs are built on an assembly line, in a way, and Matt Season was totally an assembly line kind of record. And so like Rob brings us that great song and has that beautiful melody and it's great. And then I come in and I'm like, and I kind of make a bed of like, okay, this is where I think it should be.
And we would leave, like we would literally leave and let you do your drum tracks.
Yeah, like I literally like, and I don't listen to anything. Like when I do the foundation, I'm almost always the first person to go in. So like the basic idea of what we're gonna do, there's not a lot going on, and I don't listen to a lot except for Rob's vocal. Because my whole thing is like, whatever I do, I don't want to fuck up what Rob's doing. So I just want to be like, I want to support what he's doing, and I want to sort of bridge the whole.
I mean, he'll fuck up with me and Brian.
I'll totally fuck up everybody. I could give a shit with these two. But
what is your name again?
Yeah. But the reality is, like, so then we go in and I kind of do that, and then like I'm done. Like I've done my part, and with Matt Season, like when I was just playing drums, I was done. I was like, okay, well that's what I think it should be. And then Kyle comes in, or Pookie comes in. Pookie comes in and lays down that fucking awesome bass line. And Kyle comes in and like the beginning, that intro guitar lick is like, I mean, that's beautiful. And I never thought that that's what he was going to play over top of what I did.
By the way,
it was totally an accident.
That was an accident, right? When you did the
right, what key were you just playing in?
Oh, no, I was just, I just couldn't get my hands off the guitar. But
so it's F sharp is what it was.
Before I did, because when I wrote it, I did an E minor, because I used to do everything in G, because it's the people's key.
You know what, you were capo
a lot of times he writes songs in capos. I didn't really start using capos because I'm sort of classically trained.
How to play guitar.
Classically trained, so I would always just transpose, which means...
Hold on, I have to interrupt for a second. Not to get a capo basically is this, and for you guys that don't know what a capo is. A capo is basically this, and what you do is you put it on the guitar. So if I'm playing here, if I'm playing this shape, it's a G chord. But if I with a capo, if I put it here, it's a C chord. I'm playing the same fingering, but it's a C chord. And that's what a capo does.
And people like me that don't play guitar very well, I only use a capo because I don't know the other chords.
So because of that situation, I was used to seeing it played with the capo. When we started doing guitar parts, a lot of times you're plugging into a lot of different amps and a million different guitars and trying to find the sound that inspires some direction, you know, to spend more time on that particular part. And because I was thinking of the capo key and now we were in this new key that whatever Matt had suggested or how we ended up, I actually played those notes in the wrong key when the thing started, but we loved it. So that's how you ended up with the, which sounds really fucked up. And then it was like, and then I realized right before there was the wrong key, and it was like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, and then you see Matt like on his feet, the engineers on his feet. We're just like, and you know, I'm not sitting there going, I should probably take credit for this. Like I told you.
I think that's an important part to.
And it's not the only #1 single, by the way, that had its best moments because of a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think that's an important thing, the happy accident thing, which we all like we search for those. Like you just want the happy accident so much, and another great example of this is Unwell. You know, Rob had this beautiful song, and again, it was much like Ben. Like, go ahead and play a little bit of how you brought it.
Originally, but here's the thing. Like originally, I had it faster.
You know what? It was much faster.
It was almost like a Nelly song.
How does it go?
Did we figure this thing out? Do you have it on
I'm crazy, I'm just a little unwell. I know right now you can't tell. You know, like it was really upbeat. And for some reason, the demo that I sent to you guys was on a piano, almost like a ballad. And I was like, okay, here's the song, but I'm not thinking of it that way. I'm thinking of like upbeat. And Paul's like, dude, you're crazy. That should be exactly where it is right there. Like that sounds beautiful where it is. And if you make it up, it's gonna make it sound stupid. And by the way, he's like, imagine that. Imagine, I'm not crazy. I'm just a little unwell. I know right now you can't tell. Like all of a sudden, I'm like doing limbo on the fucking video deck.
It really did sound like that. It would be very appropriate for this part.
That would have been horrible.
But you know, so we get into this thing, and so we decide that we're going to kind of, you know, cut the time and sort of make it so, you know, that's such a busy melody that da 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 da. So marking the time in a longer way made that melody speak a little more. But then so like we had this what we thought was a really good song, but we needed some sort of intro. And
Kyle just bought a banjo.
No, I bought a banjo.
You bought a banjo.
I actually bought a banjo off Peter Stewart. My friend, our very good friend.
Okay, you guys remember Dog's Eye View? Everything falls apart, and then I get to try to put it back together. Well, it falls apart. You can count on that. Peter Stewart is Dog's Eye View.
Peter Stewart is Dog's Eye View, and he's a very good friend of ours. And one day he called me. He was like, "I'm getting rid of a lot of shit," and I was like, "Well, I'll take that banjo." And he had a really cool banjo that was. It was basically a guitar that was kind of tuned like a banjo. So you could play it like a guitar. So I was like, I'll take that. And I bought that from him right before we left to do Mad Season. So we were talking about this thing, and we were like, well, we got this banjo thing. And Kyle was like, well, let me see that. And then
Never played it before.
You've never played it before, yeah. And then you leave Kyle alone for 2 seconds, and he comes up with... something that's in tune.
No, that's not true.
But hey, by the way, I want to point out to our guys, can I get a little stool out here and more wine? I feel like we're in this moment now.
I want nothing but more wine.
You guys deserve to hear that a little bit.
It's funny because like these songs, there's a lot that goes into making what I think is like what we all think is a great song, and it's lyric and a melody has to be key. It's the first thing that you have to hear. Like when you hear a lyric and a melody that moves you, that has to be the first thing because it has to be something that you could play right off the cuff and that it would move you. But to make a great album or make a great record or make a great moment that's going to be on the radio or do something, there are certain things that we've done as a band that have only existed because of Kyle. Like Unwell is this.
Well, here's the thing. The thing was,
give me Unwell. Give me Unwell.
I can't do that over that chord and play at the same time, but when the thing about a banjo is it's always, although I think we always associate it with bluegrass, when you listen to the way it actually sounds, it always reminded me of an Oriental flavor because of the sort of punchiness of it and the tinniness of it.
Also, and
so I'm the kind of person that's always thinking about how can we, because honestly, Rob's melody's great, song's great, very simple progression, and I'm the kind of person that's always thinking about a way to add some flavor to it that bends your ear. What? That bends your ear. Why are people laughing?
Oh, I'm pouring wine over here.
That is
Everyone
funny.
over here
Pouring wine is
realizes
funny.
what a lush I am. How many people have seen us on the fucking summer
I know, funny.
To be
How many people have realized how much wine I drink during the show?
To be fair to Kyle, can you also do just a little bit at the beginning of Real World?
Now, Matt actually came up with that video.
It's those little moments that make a record a little bit different, because with that song would have been a good song no matter what, but without that intro, that makes it.
Well, hold on.
Iconic.
Can I add something?
You already know.
Can I add something to this? Okay, everyone, close your eyes. And this is gonna work better for the older.
Yeah,
part
everybody
of the
like our age and older.
Everyone our age and older. Okay. Think about this. All right, ready?
Close your eyes and
Close
think
your
about the
eyes.
Rockford Files.
Close your eyes. Think about the Rockford Files. Kyle, play that riff. We were totally aware of the fact that we were this close to ripping off the Rockford Files thing. This close. And we were like, you know what? We don't care.
Built a goddamn pop hit out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Back to the band thing too, by the way. I did not want that song on the record.
You hate
I
it.
still fucking can't stand that song.
That's funny. I gotta say, I went through a different period, and a remarkable thing happened when Adam left the band, when Adam was no longer here, I should say, there was a hole left in the band. So we were like, well, how are we gonna fix that? And so I moved from drums to guitar. And I gotta say, a remarkable thing happened when I did that, where I got to hear the songs differently, because I had been playing them for many years. When I would play, Real World, it would be like that was the opening fill or whatever, and I would play the drum part, and I'd be like, God, if I have to play this fucking part one more time. And I gotta say, now, as a guitar player, it's my favorite song to play in the set. Like, I love playing Real World.
It's funny. Here's how
and I need to add why. Because I realized when we play that song, you guys love it. And that's what that gives to us when we're on stage. Like when we go, this is not the right key, but like our part. Hold on, actually,
All right, can we take another question?
What's it?
Like, we're playing that fucking song, and it's like, the amount you guys, the whole room just goes, fuck, yes.
Yes, because that is
awesome.
so you guys know when you come see us at a show,
that is
song.
heart-opening for us.
When we do we're rehearsing, we do anything, we